censorship, lockdowns, all your control. Built your throne on a house of gold. Now you panic, now you cry. Tears don't work, truth don't lie. The games are done, the mask fell off. No more lies, we've had enough. You played with fire, now taste the
Hello, hello. Oh my gosh. Ay, 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 ay. Thank you, Logomania. Every time I adjust, yeah. Thank you, Alex. I just fixed. Logo told me, man, I have to have something to show me that that's happening. This is the worst setup for a headset. Check this out. The mute button is right there. Yeah. And so every time I adjust or move my headset, I freaking mute it. Ah, dang. So let me go back to let me pull up that other sheet so I can show you guys. All right. So prior to market opening, this is what we were looking at. I one of my top watches was Apple, and I'm going to go through this quickly since I just kind of did it silently. Maybe some lip readers can, you know, fast forward or whatever. Anyway, long LRC as usual. I watched Apple come down to long LRC, big move up, made a high a day right here, 235.25, came back down, hit long LRC, moved up, made a high a day, came back down, hit long LRC, pushed up. I put a level right here at long a day. It actually pushed up. It came back, pushed up, and then started consolidating along the long LRC mean. So I told the guys, this is what I drew this morning. This is actually what was put in the Discord first thing this morning. I was like, look, I'm looking for the 243 to pop off the price to come back. This would be my best opportunity, or it could come back to 244, or it may just take and go above the long LRC and just take off. So with that said, this is what we got. I thought it was going to take off right here because this came down and hit the 243 right away. Shot up, pushed up here, and then market open, it blasted. I was like, man, I missed it. I thought it was gone. So it came back down and closed below my 20 EMA. So I was like, okay, that's a little bit curious. Let's see what's going on. Not to mention the market was all over the place, stocks going all different directions. So it made a very rough, choppy day, and which caused me to have a bad day. I did not trade well at all today, guys. I made stupid decisions, and I'll show you. Very, very bad. I don't even know how I'm green, but I'm green today. I shouldn't be. I really should not be. However, I do have a new, you know how I am about indicators, but I have one that I created a while back. I decided to look at it, see if it would help me with choppy markets. And maybe it was just a coincidence today, but it helped me to go green, and it helped one of the other traders in the group have he had his best trade, I think he said ever, and it was 4 weeks of his trades in one trade today. So I think that's how he put it. That was incredible, man. So good. So anyway, the I was patient. I was waiting to see what would happen. Then all of a sudden I saw this hit here, and then it started going green straight up. So I entered calls. I entered 20 calls here, and let me pull that. Where is it at? Where are all of my things at? Hmm. I don't know what happened to them. Well, anyway, so I put I entered 20 calls. I sold. Let me see, 9. I can't find my information. I had it all spelled out. Now I can't find it. Oh, here they are. Do, 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 do. Okay, here it is. So Apple. This is what I was looking for. Entered 20 calls at on this candle. I then sold 10 right here on this pushback down. I should have probably taken them off up here. I got a little greedy with it. So I did wait for the pullbacks. I got a little lazy with it. I took 10 off right here. I was up pretty good. I was actually up, I think like $700 or $800 up here. So I ended up taking 10 off. I'm sorry, yeah, 10 off. I held and held and held. It pulled back to here. I don't know why I held. I should have just got out of the trade and had a good profit, but I was able to make some back. At at this point, I saw it come down. It hit my long LRC and the 244 and started moving back up. I entered or added 5 calls to the position, and then I didn't sell here, but I did sell on this push back down all 10, and I got out. So I got out for $650. That was a good trade. Could have probably made around 800, 900 on this trade, but I just, like I said, I don't know what I was doing today. Just poorly managed my trades today. Um, so I got to straighten that out. That was crazy. My next trade, really bad, or had a couple bad trades. IWM, Meta. I honestly, that one's just a head shaker, head scratcher. I don't know. Again, it's just really wild. So this one actually set up to be really good. I actually thought this was going to turn out to be a great trade. Um, I think my only issue is maybe it was exhausted when we got in it. I did mention that, but um, great trade up, but I wasn't going to trade any of this. When I'm trading IWM, that's why you see this cloud right here. IWM, I want to be above the 227.50. Some people are only using the 227, which may be really good. I've used both. Um, but I had the 100 daily SMA, the 50 daily SMA, and the 20 daily SMA. So if you were looking at this without those levels there, man, what an entry that would have been. Would have been absolutely phenomenal. But for me, I don't typically trade into the 150s and 20s just because they usually will just go shoot straight back down. Um, or they may, you just have to be cautious of that happening. I could have entered here and, scaled and then waited to see. That is one way to trade it if you're willing to, give it some cushion or if you're just willing to risk that. I did not. But what I did like is it came up to my 227, my yellow LRC, came down, had a nice pullback, a nice healthy pullback, and it pushed up and closed above my 227. So I entered on this one here for continuation. I was in profit up here, not a ton, but I was in profit, and I ended up exiting on my second red for a loss. I ended up taking a minus 478. So I was in pretty good size positions on these today, which caused me to be down quite a bit. So I lost $478 on this trade. This would have been a beautiful trade up. Um, this would have been the best area to trade right here. Of course, you don't know that. We're just looking at it as hindsight, right? But the really good trade was this. This would have been an okay trade. You still could have traded this, maybe scaled out, held it as long as you make this your stop out. That's a very legitimate, like I probably would trade that way as if I were in it. Enter here, scale out, hold, make the 200 or the 100 daily my absolute exit, stop loss, and get this entire move. That would have been a very typical trade that I normally would get in that regard, but I did not get that today, of course. I got the loss. So I also ended with a pretty gross loss on Nvidia. And Nvidia started out to be a great trade. Levels were leveling. It was perfect. Came down, tested a long LRC, tested my cyan, was above my 40, started pushing above the 142. Hold up, babe. Stay over there. Stay over there. What do you need? Okay, give me one. Can you give me 1 second? 1 second, guys. Sorry, babe. Come here. Oh, whoops. I'm back. I'm back. Sorry about that. My daughter needed a kiss and a hug. So anyhow, I entered right here on the push above 142, and it was actually going pretty strong. So I got in this, I wrote it up, and once again, I should have, let me find that's my PLTR, Meta, NVIDIA. I got in 5 calls here, right? Actually, I didn't get in on this candle. I got in after it closed. I waited for the close. I got in 5. I held. I did not take profit up here. I was in profit. I just decided to hold. I guess I'm expecting these things to just keep going, and they didn't. The market wasn't good. I was trading against the market too. So it was really just a dumb day, man. I don't know what I was thinking. So really rough day today. Added 5 calls on this push up right here, thinking, okay, I'm gonna get this break over the 142, retest and move. Well, I didn't wait for confirmation. I didn't get another green candle. I just got in, and it just went shoot straight down, broke my levels, and I had a $680 loss. Well, don't know why that's okay. Here we go. So I ended up with a $680 loss. I got out on this candle right here. That was my NVIDIA trade. Hopefully you guys did better than I did today, because I did horrible. I mean, I actually ended up with $797 profit. When you see the last trade, it's kind of an interesting one. So PLTR, I had a loss on this one. Same scenario, not great. Did not get out in time on this trade. I think that was it here. Yep. So PLTR, I had a 121 level, came down, and I love when this happens. And I should have just taken profit, man. I was losing my mind today, honestly. It's so stupid. But I got in on this second candle. Is perfect. This is exactly what we look for. Nice tight 2200 at open, 121 level, LRC push up, close, move above, enter. Now I did have a long LRC line right here. It went right up to it, came down, continued up. At this point, I didn't take anything off. I didn't even take a profit or anything, which just really makes no freaking sense. I did. Oh golly, I'm thinking of the wrong thing. Gosh. So, wrong trade. I'll show you that trade in a second. This is where I should have entered, guys. I didn't enter. I missed this because I was in the other trades. Wow. Now I know what was going on with me today. So I've watched this pullback, retested the 20 EMA. This is where I entered. I was targeting the orange LRC, or the upper LRC up there, or at least new high a day. It didn't go. It went up, went straight down. I exited. So I ended up with a $335 loss. Not as bad as I thought. There's another trade that was pretty rough. I think it was my Tesla trade. Yeah, I even labeled it. What was I doing? So here's my Tesla trade. I really didn't even wait for anything to work out. I traded below my levels. I was trading a breakout, which sometimes you can do that. You have to get out early. I did get out pretty early, but because this candle went down so fast, I marketed out. So I took a decent loss. Breakouts, if you guys are going to trade breakouts, maybe, just know that you are setting yourself up, your risk levels are way higher. Okay, so if you're going to do a breakout, you need to try to get out as soon as this candle closes, or if it comes back below your breakout level. For me, it got me because it stopped right at the edge of the 200 EMA. So I was like, okay, this thing, probably will continue on up to 362 or this LRC level. Nope, it shot straight down. So I sold for a loss. I did get this pullback onto the LRC level right here. It came down. I got this candle. Then I started getting a green. I was like, oh, okay, this may reverse and go and finally do what I wanted it to do. I did get in below the 20 and the 200, looking for a push through. Once again, against my rules, but I did try it, and I was able to make back some of my profit, but I was still, or some of my loss, but I still had a $450 loss. And the best trade of the day was, where is my SPX trade? Yeah, Meta was stupid too. Okay, I can't find my SPX trade. I'll find that in 1 second. But the I can just do it. I know that the SPX trade was fantastic. But here's what's really cool. So I was telling the group, we were just kind of talking through all of this stuff. And I was explaining to them that I had created a really cool oscillator. And I don't typically like to use any indicators because you become reliant or dependent on them and they will fake you out. And, if you're just using them as a guide or as a, an entry exit, it's just going to destroy you. But if you use them in conjunction with other, confirmations, you can use them, especially with levels. So I'll show you, it's an indicator that I created using AI to create it. And it's I had it combine several things. I have the stochastic divergence. I have standard deviations. I have the Heiken-Ashi. I have MAs, and I have oversold, overbought levels. And when I made it, this is how it came out. And it's actually pretty cool. It gives you sell signals that aren't always, you don't really, it may just give you a heads up, and it gives you bull divergence vertical lines and put divergent or bear divergence and bull divergence lines for a stochastic divergence. Okay. Those are less used, but they can give you a heads up for an incoming reversal. So what I did today is we were talking about it and I was like, okay, I went back and back tested this thing and I've been watching it and I was like, it's kind of really cool with helping you to know when you're in chop, where not to get in, or where, when you should or shouldn't get in. And what I had figured out is I'm going to see if I can make it do work as a MTF. I don't know that I can, but I'll give you like a timeline so that you can see what I'm talking about. I'll pull up a 15-minute. So I used it on two charts. One was a 15-minute chart. One was my typical 2-minute chart. And what I was watching is we got this sell signal, which once again, I don't really rely on them, but what I was looking at is we came up and we hit inside the overbought, overbought area. And as it was coming down, I liked getting into a trade, or I've noticed that if you get below the zero line, this is your zero line, that and if you stay below that line, you typically continue to just move down. Sometimes it'll go sideways, but you don't usually go up. as long as you're below this level. Even if these go higher, you tend to still be lower with your price levels until you get back up over your zero line. Then it starts actually moving back above structure to the left. So it's really kind of cool. And it was really interesting. So today I had this happen here, and as I was talking to them about it, I was like, I think I'm going to enter an SPX put if I get back below the 610. So I did. I entered right here as soon as this went through, mainly because I was watching this and I was purple. Going down. This could be red, or you could make these green, whatever. But the purple is for your, downside trend. And so normally what I've noticed is once you get through the one time, you want to get in on this one. But it wasn't below my 610 level, so I wasn't going to do that. I wanted to wait and see. And so I waited, and it went below right here, and that's where I entered puts. I got in 5 puts. Now this got a little crazy because I did sell. I sold 3 or 2 of my puts here. Let me pull up my okay. So this will show you better. And what I tried to do is give you a layout of how I was watching it. So I got in 5 SPX puts right here. I scaled 2 out on this push down. So I took some profit. I got in pretty good profit right out of the gates. It went back up. I was at, I think I was in drawdown or break even at this level right here. Since I never closed above, I was in a good position. I was like, I gave back a whole bunch. I was up like $300 or $400 here. But then it started going down, and I was like, okay, this is looking really good. And I was watching, and I'll pull up the 15-minute guys here in a minute, and I'll show you how I'm comparing it. Like the 15-minute never went above the zero line. And what I noticed is as long as the 15-minute oscillator is below the zero line, you pretty much never have an uptrend. It almost stays on a downtrend. And if you're above the zero line on the 15-minute, you pretty much stay in an uptrend. Really cool. Now, granted, I want everyone to understand that this is very new. I've had it for a while because I created it, but I just haven't really focused on it or used it. So it actually helped me to make a good amount of money today. However, it's not a whole lot different than the way I normally would trade. It just kind of gave me a little bit more confidence when I was watching these levels. Whether it's a false sense of help, we'll see. Because once again, indicators are only telling you what price action tells you. So, all right, I'll get off my soapbox. But yeah, it's actually really, really awesome. It worked great, Logomania. And so at 3, I added 3 puts because it came up. And what you don't see here, but I'll try to show you on the 15-minute chart, is we got one little white dot on one of the candles. And then it went purple again right when this happened. So I was like, okay. I added 3 puts here. Kind of went up. I came right here again. I got another purple. I didn't add on this one, but I added on this one. And so I was like, okay, this is looking really good. It looks like it's staying below. There is another caveat that we also noticed as a group today that was really cool. And I was pointing out to them, and they I think had noticed it as well, is, and I'll show you that in a minute, but well, I'll explain it to you now as we go. But on the 15-minute chart, it was looking like this, right? All the lines were purple, and below you'd get a couple whites, but mainly stayed purple below the zero line on the 15-minute time frame using this oscillator. Well, what was really cool is every time, if your 15-minute stayed below the zero and the 2-minute was below the zero, anytime you got a white, and then a purple, you could re-enter It was literally giving you perfect pullback opportunities to get back in to get the bigger moves. Like this right here, typically when we were watching, for instance, this right here, we went above, we got the purple here. On the 15-minute, it was still down here. So it was telling us that this was still a downtrend. This was nothing more than just a pullback. And sure enough, it just launched straight down from there. Same thing happened here. So you can see what I did. I added 3 puts. I added 5 puts. Guys, I was in 11 SPX puts at this point. So I was either going to have a really bad day today if this went up, or what happened is this. What's crazy though, I sold 9 right here. If I had held this, the premium spiked so much, it would have been a $7,700 trade. If I had just sold at the bottom here, all of them. But I scaled out. I got that big push. I was happy. I scaled out. I was in about $2,800, getting close to $3,000 right here. But I held it. And it pushed back up. I sold one more. I scaled out one. I held, and the main reason I held was because I was just watching these colors, and I was watching the 15-minute. So I had a few whites. Once I broke above and then went above the MA and it pushed right here above the 0, I went ahead and exited. So it kind of gave me a really good time to get out on this trade. I also could have used the dot, which was the buy, this is your buy signal, to tell me to get out here. Granted, let me go to the actual indicator. I'm going to go to the 15-minute as well. Just let's look from like 12 to 2:30 on the 15-minute, just so you guys can see what I'm talking about. It's actually a much cleaner on the 15-minute, but you can see what happened. Pre-market today, it was down below the 0 line. It came back. It came up above, went down, and just stayed down. It got out of the oversold area, came up, and just stayed below the 20, below the 0 line. And so far, when I went back and back tested, when that took place, price continued to go down on the 2-minute. So I use that as my guide, and that's what helped me to stay in. This is where I got in today, right here. And you can see we are all purples. We get one white here. We had one purple there. And I think that this was the area which I exited my last one. But I ended up making $2,380 on this trade, which brought me back up to a $797 profit. I don't know how. I honestly don't. I should have had a red day today, because I traded absolutely like garbage today. Really, really bad day. But anyhow, I'll have this in my, I already put this in my indicators channel on my Discord if you guys are interested in it. It's still kind of in the to be determined area, to be honest with you guys, because once again, I'm not a big indicator person. I think they can fake you out. They can give you false information. The one thing I tried to do with this when I made it was to give me something that I could rely on, like a legit, but there's nothing that's totally legit, but I wanted something that I put a lot of confluences in. I have, I had the standard deviation. I have RSI. I have MA levels. I have stochastic. I have divergence. So it's all kind of, and Heikin-Ashi. I have a Heikin-Ashi code in there. That's what this is derived from as well. So it's really we'll see. We'll see. It does a pretty good job, but honestly, I don't know if I'll continue using it. We'll see. The jury's still out because I want to make sure that it's not going to be something that gives you a false, a fault, just some false signals and cause people to lose just because they're depending on an indicator. I did show the group today one other way to use this too is you can look at your own divergence. You can see this going down right here, higher, lower, lower, higher. Basically tells you that you're going to get that move right here. So pretty cool. But you can also do that with RSI or stochastic or a lot of your indicators. But it doesn't always work. So that's why I don't really rely on divergence a whole lot. What I will do is I'll look at divergence and I will decide whether or not, I'll just keep an eye on it and see if it may work out to be something. But anyway, I don't want to ramble too much. That was my trades today. I will keep looking at this as a group. I've shared it with the Discord group, so hopefully it will help people. I hope it doesn't like give you a false sense of of trading. You really need to focus on learning how to follow price action, understand price action, and trade levels is the most important, I think the most successful way to trade consistently. Having something to help give a little bit of extra confirmation. Oh, it's my indicator section is in the paid section logo. I'll shoot it over to you when I get in. I'll send it. I'll instant message you if that's cool, or DM you. I think you're in my. Are you in my Discord? I don't know that I've seen you in the Discord. Are you there under logo? Are you under the same name in my Discord? Let me go check. See if I can find you. You're not coming up. BD trauma. Okay. Let me check that out. Aha, there you are. Okay, cool. Okay, I'll send you a DM. I'll send it over to you. But that's it for me, guys. I'm going to call it a night. What a crazy day. What a bad day of trading, honestly. I mean one of my bad trades was also Meta, and look at how clean this was, man. I hope you guys caught this because look at this. You would have traded through all these levels, but oh my goodness. Just close your eyes and can you just look at it? Check that out. 2200. Boom, comes down, fails the 733.50. Here's your entry. And see ya all day long. Look at that. Look at that. It looks better like that, doesn't it? Crazy. Crazy, crazy downside today. But anyhow, guys, no. I've had some bad trades. I had some last week, and I just didn't get videos out. I know it looks like I'm only showing the good ones. That's not the case. I just have a lot of stuff going on with family, and I didn't have a red day, but I had some bad trades, and I've had, I think the last 2 or 3 days, it's kind of interesting. You know, the group, the Discord group's kind of laughing at me because first thing I say, I'm like, all right, guys, market's about to open. Let's go. Let's lock in. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be patient. I'm gonna wait. And I swear, first candle, okay, this looks good. I'm getting in. I swear, it's every day. They laugh at they laugh about it every day. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wait till 10 o'clock. I'm in by 10:30 or 9:33. I kid you not. So, yeah, I got to work on that. I got to slow down because most of my best trades come really after I wait for the setups. But yeah, no, yeah, it's so stupid, man. But anyway, hey, you guys have a great evening. Thanks for coming by. Please hit that like button, and any of the new guys, hit that subscribe button if you want to see more content. I will see you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching.